Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sorry about the time. Completely my fault. We don't have daylight savings time yet, and everybody else in the US does, of course. So everybody was waiting on me. My apologies for that. This is team meeting number 50, and today we have a special guest, Melissa Smith, who'll be discussing her writing for success, and we'll have a mini interview there. We'll have some questions from the faculty. There's a book that Rob wants to discuss, and we have a new course coming up. Sadly, Dan Kirk won't be with us today, but we think Rob.
Yeah, so today we have a special guest. Melissa Smith is one of our faculty members who is teaching a great course called Writing for Success. And Melissa, Professor Smith,
Yeah.
If you could just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, and then I've got just a couple of questions for you about the class.
Awesome. So, as I said, my name is Melissa Smith. I guess in educational circles or in arts education circles in music, I'm known more often as Queen Earth. I've spent the past 3 years doing a lot of social justice workshops, training with curriculum design, reading, composition, multicultural education. And at one of my employers, community college, I did some really awesome training building a class that combines life skills and literacy. And even the numbers, it's called acceleration, and you can find more about it on the internet. But ultimately, students who are just taught how to write or just taught how to do math don't do as well as students who are taught how to do those things and get life skills. And so we had a class at this college that was designed to teach students both. So I figured that with Oplerno, I have an opportunity to create something similar in an online environment and also provide students one-on-one instruction and be very intentional about helping them with grammar while also talking to them like, do you have a hero? Do you have a mentor? So I think it's maybe a combination of counseling, life skills, definitely writing, but kind of, if students don't have someone to help them navigate college, they may not be successful. So I'm hoping that I can kind of help them with that. I love the work that I get to do. I've been traveling the world for the past year and a half, taking online classes and shaking hands with educators and people who work in after-school programs. So it's kind of interesting to be here. I just got back a week ago. I'm kind of having like American culture shock, but I'm excited about the next season of whatever may come.
Yeah, Melissa, you first, can you just tell us a little bit, how did you first hear about us? And
I think it was Twitter, actually. I used to be an adjunct. I don't want to do it anymore. And I knew that I was going to spend at least 2 years on the road, so I was looking for work. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I teach online? Because I took a class and got certified, and I said, I'm looking for more online positions. And you came up on my Twitter feed, and I think it was like August of 2013 that I started exchanging emails and tweeting and just kind of telling people about what you all are doing, because I'm sure that's why we're all here. I don't have to talk to you about why we need to change education in America for students and faculty. So yeah, it's been a while. I really believe in your vision and what you're trying to do.
well, it's our vision now, because what's really, really important is that you have sort of seized the day, and you've got a really interesting program and a class, and also a vision of where you want to take your career, but also the career of your students. The writing skills are absolutely critical, but it's also, we all realize that people need mentors and some guides to help work through, whether it's getting a degree or getting better skills to become more employable at their businesses or at people's businesses, or getting a raise, or what I hope to see happen is also people starting their own businesses so that they have control over their own lives. And so that is a really, really critical a critical thing. Let me see. I do have a couple questions. 1 second. Now, for your class, are you going to divide it have different sections for different people's writing levels, or are you going to have it at sort of the same for everyone? Who is your sort of, not to use this crazy term, who is your target market?
Exactly. No, that's a great question. I think I have several target markets. One is, I've worked as a tutor. It's been great, I guess, for me on the road. And so I know that as a tutor, oftentimes a student graduates high school or they finish. So what if we work with tutoring agencies to find students to help them get ready for college and the next level? So I'm looking for like high school seniors / college freshmen, people who might be in like a summer bridge program, who are maybe looking to get a jump start on some, credit level classes and life skills. I was in similar programs when I went to college. Another market that I'm considering would be GLBT students. I know a lot of the workshops that I've done on college campuses, what we say we are doing is creating safe spaces. The terms almost become overused, but when I talk to students about the papers that they write and how they're using gender pronouns that their teachers don't understand or recognize. So I'd love to be a professor where GLBT students can come and talk about coming out of the closet and not be uncomfortable or think that the teacher's going to judge them for that. I'm also looking for creative types, artists, and maybe baby entrepreneurs, because I'm still a baby entrepreneur. So in a couple of years I might have a class to teach, but right now I'm still learning so much. I don't know how I feel about different sections because in the past I've taught developmental English, English 101, and English 102. So at the beginning of the semester, I do a pretest that students will take to kind of determine their skill level, and that'll even tell me how much work I should do with them during the semester, how much work they might need, or even if they're ready. And I guess that's something to brainstorm with you all. Should I build a developmental track for students who need a little bit more help with grammar, and have my one-on-ones and split them off into those two sections, and then from those two sections create separate arms. I guess I'm really interested in getting my first batch of, say, 20 students to see what kind of people are attracted to the course and then go from there.
Anybody want to chime in on an answer? I mean, my initial reaction is, yeah, I think starting with 20 is a great place. Everything comes down to how the students are learning. So different, particular, if you want to target and have different sections for different skill levels, or for the gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered community, that's also completely fine with us. Again, academic freedom and the ability for people to sort of assemble and create their own communities is huge with us, and so we totally support your work in any way you want to divide it up. So I think yeah. What can you hang on? Can you hang on the line with us? Because as we go through the different agenda, it'd be great to get your the different agenda items. It would be great to get your input into that.
Sure.
Okay. Let's skip questions from faculty for right now. I want to just briefly touch on a new book that came out. It's called The End of College by Kevin Carney. He is a fellow at the New America Foundation, and he has written a book. The tagline is Creating a Future of Learning and the University of Everywhere. It's really funny. I got this book it just came out last Thursday. I went down to my local big box store because we don't have not a lot of independent sellers here. Picked up a copy, read it. It is a description of Oplerno, which is really amazing. There's all kinds of different things in here where I'm like, hey, has he been hanging out at Woodblock, reading our interviews? Because it is a stunning indictment of traditional higher education in terms of the loans. And it also, what is interesting, outlines a path forward that we have kind of outlined ourselves over the past year and a half. So for anybody, go out and get a copy of The End of College by Kevin Carey. And I've tweeted back and forth with him a little bit. He's obviously in the middle of a book tour and doing interviews. I saw one interview with him, listened to it on Terry Gross on Fresh Air, and she was okay, but not incredibly nice in terms of his thesis that higher ed is in trouble, and online learning and these communities that we're creating online and hybrid communities are going to be really, really important and critical to get more and more people participating. Because if we think we're going to do things like the elite schools, and when you think about it, only maybe 50,000 people graduate from those places every year. Why aren't we thinking about the 3 billion people on the planet who want access to higher ed and seeing how we can reach them and increase the participation and the diversity of voices in academia? That's really, really important. And so The End of College is a great book. I can hardly wait to see more of the reaction that comes about from it. Anybody else had sort of a chance to take a look at it? I mean, it's only been out a week.
Now, I
Yeah, I haven't yet, but I've already added it to my to-read list. So, once I can get a hold of a copy, I will read it.
Yeah, I'll shoot this one down to you in a couple of days, Sujin, if you'd like. I'll just mail it down. Yeah, it's generating an interesting debate online. I want to talk a little bit about, and then anybody. Actually, I've talked enough so far. Anybody else have anything they want to add in terms of things they've been working on or agenda items that they want the entire community to know about?
Yeah, there's. I'm, as you know, a freak when it comes to security, and there's something that I had to mention. I mentioned that there's again another security issue in browsers and everything. So it's very important that you're using a browser which is secure. I'll post a link downstairs in the bottom of the notes, so you have somewhere where you can check whether the browser that you're using is secure against this new vulnerability. It's just to keep yourself safe. I mean, that's the only thing that I'm concerned about.
Sujin, do you have anything, or Michael?
All right, I'll go ahead and go. So I finally have, admin access to editing the website. So I've been working on that, sketching things up. You may, if you're very knowledgeable on the Oplerno website, you may already have spotted some small changes, like removing the home link that Dan showed me how to do. But a lot of it over the next week or so is going to be sketching things out, writing copy, and I'm so glad that Bia is back, who is not here this morning, probably because of time zone differences and daylight saving time. But I can't wait to get back into it. So keep an eye on the next few weeks. You'll probably see a lot of big changes.
Great. A quick update from me. This week, this is my first full week back post third baby. And,
third baby, running for city council, causing hell amongst the Progressive Party in Burlington.
Right. So now I'm back, and so I'll be focusing on finalizing our launch VT application. It's basically, we have most everything in. There's just a few little extra items that they requested. And then also met with Rob on Friday and be working on kind of the target hit list of companies that we want to talk to about workforce development and training, and seeing how Oplerno can help with that.
Yeah, that's a great segue into the next item that I wanted to bring up, which is Michael and I have started to use, Vermont is always sort of like our little laboratory, okay, where we go out and we see what people are involved in, and to also drum up some business and some reaction. And one of the things in Vermont, it's a really rural state, which has a rapidly aging population. And one of the things that's really tough here is there are a lot of jobs that are available, especially in manufacturing. So if you're listening, and you want to find a position, a job, and move up to the Shire and hang out with all the rest of the hobbits, let me know. And what we're doing is we're going in and we're talking with different companies, different NGOs, and also government people to say, well, what are the things that you need in terms of to improve your workforce? And we're really asking them to give us sort of 10 or 15 skills, and then what we're doing is we're going through first the classes that faculty have developed, and trying to connect the faculty with those businesses. But we're also going to put lists out if a particular company has a need. For example, this segues really well with the writing class that's being developed. The Writing for Success by Professor Smith, is that a lot of companies need help with both communication and critical thinking skills. And what we want to do is see whether, well, I'm confident that this is a service that companies want. And what would be even better is if we can kind of close the loop in terms of finding people who have taken our classes and then connecting them with particular companies for jobs, so that not only are you getting an education, but you can also find some type of potential employment for this. So it's in preliminary stages. We've had some really great meetings with some good potential allies, and there's a few companies that are going to sign on board with us as partners. And when we have all that signed and written in ink, then then we'll let you know. But that workforce development piece is and business development piece is something that we're thinking of to help both increase the numbers of students in our classes, but also give people the opportunity to find employment, because that's something that, in spite of, at least in the U.S., the illusion that all is well in the economy and that unemployment rate is low, the fact is it's not. The unemployment rate is high in particular places, and Oplerno can do its part to help connect people with jobs. So it's fun also, on a personal note, getting back to cold calling, approaching these companies, which is what I used to do when I was doing admissions, and also selling vacuum cleaners door to door in my early 20s, which is a fun story, but not relevant now. All right, let's talk just a little bit about new courses. There are 2 new courses that have come on that have been approved. One is Employment Law with Brad Knott. That will be available. You can check out his course online, and he's also got a 2 other courses that he is developing, which can be part of an employment law certificate. So in other words, if you are a union member and you are negotiating with your company for your salary and benefits for your group, you should take Brad Knott's class, because he will let you know about all the different strategies, tactics, and rules that people need to follow in the United States. And that's a really good course to take. And Michael Abrams, sorry, go ahead.
You say it would also be nice to get Brad on for once, so that if faculty members have any questions about this, they can talk to him, and or at least pose some questions to him as well. Those are very interesting.
Maybe we can do that next week or the week after. That would be a great thing. Let's put that down in the notes so we don't forget it. And the other class is Intro to Sustainability with Michael Abrams. You might know him from Woodblock last year. He participated in that class, and it's a great course. Issues of sustainability are really, really important, and he's got all kinds of different materials for that. Okay. Anything last minute questions that people might have? Let me just check the info at oplerno.com. I have a question from one of the faculty members, and it's about marketing in the website. Are you guys thinking of redoing the website and increasing the amount of information for students? Sujin, can you take that question for us?
Okay, the answer is very much yes, because what you see on the website now is a bunch of jargon that doesn't speak to regular people who want to teach a course or learn a course. I told you this about 9,000 times.
No. Yes, and I totally agree with you. Yep.
I'm working on it. But yeah, the answer is very much yes. And in fact, if you have any feedback or ideas, you can send them to me, sujan@oplerno.com, and I'll definitely try to, work them in.
Great. That's our question, and you're right. The fact that Sujin is redoing our website is excellent because we do need to make it much more student-centered and student-friendly. All right. Well, that's it for today. We will see you online next week, and thank you, Professor Smith, for coming.
Does anybody have any more questions about the class or anything?
I haven't gotten any through the info@oplerno.com. But if why don't you give your information where you can be contacted?
I can be reached at msmith@oplerno.com or queenearth@queenearth.com. Either one will work. I'm just interested in talking to other faculty members at Oplerno. I would love to know how many students are people teaching, and how many students are enrolled, and because we are doing something that is absolutely against the grain. I think that it's going to require a lot of buy-in from different organizations, and something that I've stumbled upon this past week is really reaching out to not so much my higher education network, but my high school network. In particular for my class, I'm looking for students who need college credit. So where are the schools that are sending students to college? I went to a really fancy boarding school in West Virginia, so I'm going to get them on the phone later this week. Got some friends who work in after-school programs with Jewish community centers. I'm just putting, all the feelers out there. But I think for me, as I'm not going to say new faculty member, but even for other people, the number one question that I get from my friends are like, are you guys actually teaching students? Do we have people enrolled in courses? And I think that if we can say yes to that confidently, then more people will buy in, and we can have an even larger movement and belief behind the vision. Because I love this, what we it's a you, we say we are doing here at Oplerno. So it is a numbers game.
Yeah, we're slowly building up more and more. Greg Sadler's doing a great job in terms of the recruitment of the students. Pat Peters has had students enrolling in her classes. So slowly but surely, but this is not going to. I wrote about this in a post that went on LO and then on our website. The new kind of faculty member who's going to be successful will need to be much more social networked socially, much more entrepreneurial in terms of really getting their voice out and getting themselves out in front of people and using their networks to recruit. We're trying to make it so that faculty are the stars again, just the way it should be, and they're earning a huge number of. They're earning at least 80% of the tuition revenue that they generate, so that they can earn a little good living. And that's a very different model than what we've got right now in higher ed, which is standardization, crank up the productivity, and lower the faculty pay. And so that's if faculty members expect us right now to be giving them a list of 20 students for their class, that's not going to happen. We really need faculty to get out there and get the word out. One last thing that I forgot was, if you, it's really important right now for you all to follow the stories out of a place called Sweetbriar College, which is located in Virginia. It's an all-women's college that has been educating women for over 100 years, and their board of trustees announced that they are closing. They have an endowment of $82 million. Now, Oplerno's been tweeting out "Save Sweetbriar," and I've talked with a couple of the people who are involved in that movement. It is really important that we have a huge amount of diversity in terms of institutions, kinds of institutions that are out there to support work in higher ed. Women's education, an all-women's college, is very, very important to have. There should be options for people. And Sweetbriar, if there's anything we can do, we will. I wish I had a bunch of cash to help with, but I don't. But we need to get the word out that Sweetbriar is something. Sweetbriar as an institution is something that needs to be saved. It's going to have to transform itself, but that's okay. They can do it, but it's really important that that community be, in my opinion, be supported, and that they're able to take control of their school and make it what they want. So just keep your thoughts and with the community at Sweetbriar. So that's it. See you later.
So,
And
Thank you.
that's it.
okay.
Yeah,
See you
see you
online.
online.
Okay. See you online.
See you on.
Bye bye.